Welcome to this deeply relaxing and confidence building program presented by me, Phil Parker, the designer of the Lightning Process, a clinical hypnotherapist and master NLP trainer. Before you begin to relax and listen and watch this presentation, there's a few things that you just need to ensure, and they're for your comfort and safety. Clearly, you don't want to be listening to this and relaxing deeply whilst you're driving a car or operating machinery, so choose an appropriate time for you where you can safely and comfortably just focus all your inner wisdom and intelligence on the sound of my voice. If you find yourself drifting off at any point during this relaxing and confidence boosting program, that's fine, because your unconscious mind is really the only part of you that needs to listen. And your unconscious mind is the part of you that's so good at taking care of you. It manages all the day-to-day business of your health and body, so that when you climb stairs, it changes your blood pressure. When you sleep, it remembers to breathe for you, and it can even do extraordinary things like keep track of time whilst you're asleep. So you may have had the experience of setting your alarm for 7 o'clock in the morning, and at 6:59, 59 seconds, your unconscious mind wakes you up just before the alarm goes off. So don't worry if you find yourself just drifting. You'll still be listening. And of course, if you hear anything whilst listening to this relaxation and confidence boosting program that you don't want to attend to, any instructions or suggestions or ideas that don't fit with who you are, then allow yourself to just completely ignore and let those ideas pass you by. However, at the same time, you may want to allow yourself to be open to new ideas, ones that you would like to have. Because, of course, in this program we're going to be looking at how we free ourselves finally from things that have held us back, things that we might have believed were unchangeable, or things maybe we might have believed were true about ourselves, but now it's time to let them go. So maybe be open to that. Only changing the things that you feel comfortable and happy changing that will truly make a difference to how you are in the world in a positive, healthy and confident way. So as you relax and settle, gazing the gentle rhythmical movement of the wind in the leaves of this particular plant that has taken your attention. Noticing what you can see in the foreground and the background. Noticing the colours, how deep those greens are, how calming. And as you just allow yourself to trust your unconscious, knowing that you can listen to my voice and you can listen to the spaces in between my words, allowing yourself to start the process of learning how to become even more deeply familiar with relaxation. Because the reason that you've tuned in to this today is because you know that something needs to change, and you know it is possible to make that change. Otherwise you wouldn't be dedicating the next 20 or 30 minutes of your life to discovering how to become even more relaxed and confident. But you know, relaxing is something that we all do, something that we are all born with. And yet for many people, being relaxed seems less frequent, less simple than it should or used to be. So as we begin letting go of anything that is stopping that natural, simple process, I'd like you to just imagine that at the bottom of your feet there's somehow an easy and simple way to drain out everything that's stopping you from being deeply relaxed and confident. And you know what? You don't even have to know what it is. Just visualize it in your mind. All the stuff, whether you know it or just have a sense that it's getting in the way. Trusting your unconscious, seeing it in your mind's eye, flowing out through the bottom of your feet. And if this was to have a colour as it leaves you now, with each breath that you take, what colour would it have? Noticing it just flowing away without you really having to do anything, because you're working as you breathe with that extraordinary ability that you have to just be. And whilst that's happening, I'd like you to take yourself back in time to somewhere extraordinarily and deeply relaxing and pleasing for you. And I don't know, out of all the countless hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of experiences that you've had, which one you'll find yourself naturally led to that makes you feel relaxed and calm right now. Breathing in this calm feeling that naturally flows by re-immersing yourself right now in this experience, taking the time that you need. You can focus on all the elements and aspects of this deepening experience of being back here now, reconnecting with the colors and shades, the movement and stillness, these things that grab your attention and allow you to step further into this feeling, and those other sights that follow, deepening the naturally calming sensations. And you can also allow yourself to become aware of the sounds and silences of being back here. Noticing what exactly this feels like to re-immerse yourself while staying in this lovely place. I don't know if you've ever had the experience of deeply relaxing, maybe in the bed or the bath, and then just as you're about to disappear into a beautiful, relaxed state, you have to attend to something like a telephone or a call from a friend or a partner or a family member, and you have to take yourself out of that relaxed place just for a moment or two and deal with whatever you need to deal with. But then when you go back to the bath or the bed or the relaxation, it feels almost twice as deep. You just sink into it, feeling what this feels like. And if this feeling, deeply relaxing, had a colour, and you were to tell me now what the colour is, just say it in your mind. Hear that word, so that every time you say that word from now on, it re-immerses you once again in this deeply, deeply relaxing place. And you can enjoy these deepening, powerful and profound feelings, listening to the music in the background. And you'll hear my voice in a little while as we move on to further boosting your confidence and trust in yourself. And so as you take those deeper feelings of relaxation and calm, I'd like you to think a little bit about what it feels like to be confident. And many people say, well, I don't feel deeply confident about very much. And yet, the more we talk, the more they realize that they do. I say, are you confident that you can tell the time? Yes. They find themselves saying, are you confident that you can tie your own shoelaces? Of course you are. Are you confident of what your name is? Of how to sign it without even thinking? And when you think about it, I say to them, it's clear that we are actually deeply competent and confident in so many places. And so, if we can be confident in one or a handful filled of different places, then I could be confident, they say, of being able to be exactly this way anywhere. Because they say, and I agree, that confidence is about knowing that you are enough. It's not about knowledge. It's about realizing that you, as you are not only okay, you are extraordinary, the most developed piece of technology on the planet, and you come from a long line of success. You could only be here because your ancestors were winners in the game of life. Every single one of them survived to an age where they could bear children, all the way back to the dawn of time. Along that path there will be thousands and thousands of your ancestors. I'd like you to imagine the cleverest, smartest, most confident one was here right now. And they had an opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity, to really get your attention. And you know, sometimes you hear things and they strike you with their truth. Listen to that ancestor of yours. What do they say? Listen inside. Something that's important for you to pay attention to now, and you can be confident that they know exactly what they're talking about. Hear that inside. As you connect with that, there's a new sense that this force, this ancient part of you, carried down through generation upon generation, reawakens. Feel what it feels like to step into that, to feel the power within you, to trust yourself, to know what that feels like on a daily basis. Developing confidence in yourself that's balanced with kindness for others, so that you can avoid the trap of arrogance and selfishness that some people sometimes confuse with someone who is self-assured. But you wouldn't make that mistake. Instead, you'd be very clear that being confident in this way naturally unfolds something that deep inside you always suspected was a part of you, free at last to start to spread its wings. And as you follow that bird in flight that doesn't know exactly where the wind is going to be, but is confident it will be there, and is confident that it will be able to soar on those currents and dance with life, trusting in yourself in a new way that's easy, simple, honest and authentic, and reminds you about how being relaxed and confident are just natural, simple birthrights, part of your blueprint. Once upon a time there was a beautiful sunny day, and the sun shone, and the wind blew in, and the wind looked at the sun and said, "It's okay for you, they're just sitting there shining. I did proper work, I'm busy. You're nothing compared to me." And the sun just looked down and smiled and shone a little brighter. And the wind challenged the sun. And the wind said, "I should be the one in charge, not you. You just sit there, smiling and giving out warmth. I'm stronger and more powerful, and I shall prove it. We shall have a contest." "There's a man wearing a hat and a coat over there," said the wind. "I shall blow that hat and coat off." He raced down and he blew his hardest blowing. The man grabbed his hat and pulled it tighter against his head. He did the buttons up on his coat, and no matter how much the wind blew, he could not remove the hat or coat, and the wind sat back exhausted. And the sun just smiled down on the man. And the warmth of the sun warmed the air around the man, and he felt pleasantly comfortable, possibly a little bit too warm, so he removed his hat. And as the sun smiled down calmly and confidently, the man realized he'd be even more comfortable if he just undid a few buttons and just put his coat on the floor and sat on it. He rested in the sunshine, and the wind realized that there are many ways to make change. You know. And so when the time is right for you to bring yourself back at the end of this journey, listening to this as many times, sharing it with whoever you wish to, and noticing the change, and as you notice the change, it'd be lovely to leave a message and a comment beneath this video. It will help me to know that you found it useful and other people will find it more simply that way. If you'd like to leave some comments about what else you'd like me to work with on these simple but effective ways of making change, then just leave comments below. And of course, there's a range of other stuff you can get by subscribing to this YouTube channel or visiting me at phil@philparker.org.